Let me look at the list. Let's see who the first person is. So
Well,
I'm the first person. So
perfect.
I'll begin reading. uh, minimize this. All right. So first splash into JavaScript. All right. Now you've learned something about the theory of JavaScript and what you can do with it. A simple. Oh no, you know what? We actually did this yesterday. So we did the build the number guessing game yesterday. So that's a first splash. So now we're gonna go to what went wrong troubleshooting JavaScript. Okay. Let's see. So what went wrong troubleshooting JavaScript? Everybody gets some variables. We'll move on to free code count, and um, we'll do these all the way up to operators. So yeah, go ahead and open up what went wrong troubleshooting JavaScript. And if you were here, you were not here on the first day. Basically, the only thing we did on Mozilla yesterday was what is JavaScript and a first splash into JavaScript. And today we're going to begin this one, what went wrong. And on W3 schools, we went through all of this up to variables. All right, so let's proceed. That it didn't work. Never fear. This article aims to save you from tearing your hair out over such problems by providing you with some simple tips on how to find and fix errors in JavaScript programs. So the prerequisites are basic computer literacy, basic understanding of HTML and CSS, and understanding of what JavaScript is. And the objective is to gain the ability and confidence to start fixing simple problems in your code. And before I begin again, how we're going to do this is each person is going to go down and read a page. So, yeah, types of error. Generally speaking, when you do something wrong in code, there are two main types of error that you'll come across. Syntax error. These are spelling errors in your code that actually cause the program not to run at all or stop working partway through. You will usually be provided with some error messages too. These are usually okay to fix as long as you are familiar with the right tools and know what the error messages mean. Logic errors. These are errors where the syntax is um, actually correct, but the code is not what you intended it to be. Meaning that program runs successfully but gives incorrect results. These are often harder to fix than syntax errors as there usually isn't a resulting error message to direct you to the source of the error. Okay, so it's not quite that simple. There are some other differentiators as you drill down deeper, but the above classifications will do at this early stage in your career. We'll look at both of these types going forward. An erroneous example. To get started, let's return to our number guessing game, except this time we'll explore a version that has some deliberate errors introduced. Go to GitHub and make yourself a local copy of number game errors.html. And it says click here to see it running live. So let's see that. That's what it looks like live. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to open up my VS Code text editor. Wait for that to load. And so it says number one. To get started, open the local copy inside your favorite text editor and your browser. Alright, so that's loaded. Alright, let's see. Okay, so I'm gonna take all this out of here. I'm gonna just paste it in here. change this name. Yeah. And it wants me to copy all this into my text editor. Alright, I'll save that. Okay. Make sure everything's right. Alright. Nice. Looking beautiful, looking beautiful. Where are we going now? So that's step one. Oh, and let's open it up in our browser as well. So I have VS Code installed. So what that allows me to do, and I have an extension on VS Code I can just click it and I click go live. And what that allows me to do is allows me to see my code up here live. So if I save it, change any changes in my text editor, it shows the changes right here. Alright. And step two, try playing the game. You'll notice that when you press the submit guess button, it doesn't work. So let's try to press that, and no, it does not work. Click enter. Nope, it does not work. Okay. And note, you might well have your own version. You just fix this up so I'm not scrolling back and forth between windows. There we go. Beautiful. Okay. Try playing the game, it won't work. Note, you might well have your own version of the game. Example that doesn't work, which you might want to fix. We'd still like you to work through the article with our version so that you can learn the techniques we are teaching here. Then you can go back and try to fix your example. So it says, at this point, let's consult the developer console to see if we can see any syntax errors. Then try to fix it. To fix them, you'll learn how below. So I'm gonna go over here and press Control Shift I. I have Firefox, and that's gonna open up my developer tools. Yep. So earlier on in the course, we got you to type some simple JavaScript commands into the developer tools JavaScript console. If you can't remember how to open this in your browser, follow the link to find out how. What's even more useful is that the console gives you error messages whenever a syntax error exists inside the JavaScript being fed into the browser's JavaScript engine. Now let's go hunting. So number one, go to the tab that you got number game errors.html open in. And open your JavaScript console, and you should see an error message along the following lines. It says type error guess submit.add event listener is not a function. And yes, we have that exact error. Number two, this is a pretty easy error to track down. The browser gives you several useful bits of information to help you out. The screenshot above is from Firefox, but other browsers provide similar information. From left to right, we've got a red X that is an error. So let me maximize that so we can see this right here. That's what it's talking about, the error message. So we have a red X to indicate that this is an error. we have an error message to indicate what's gone wrong, and the message is type error, guess submit, add event listener is not a function. And we have then a learn more link that links through to a MDN page that explains what this error means in huge amounts of detail. So if we click on that link right there where it says learn more, it'll actually take us to Mozilla and give us some information on what's wrong. Okay. And then it says the name of the JavaScript file, which links through to the debugger tab of the DevTools. If you follow this link, you'll see the exact line where the error is highlighted. Okay, let's check that out. As you can see right here, it tells us it's on line 118. Then we have 15. So if we go to our code, let's scroll down to let's go back to that. It says the name of the JavaScript file, which links through to the debugger tab of the DevTools. If you follow this link, you'll see the exact line where the error is highlighted. And for them, it says 86.3. 86. There we go. So it shows us right there if we click on it. Oh, so and there's for some reason it actually is there. It's neat. So 118. This is where it's at. Alright. The line number where the error is. See the exact line, and then it says the line number where the error is, and the character number in the line. Okay, yeah, so that's the character number. And the character number in that line where the error is first seen. In this case, we've got line 86, character number 3. And in our case, because our case actually differs from their case, we are at, our error is at line 118, character 15. Alright, so number 3, if we look at line 86 in our code, we'll find this line. Guess submit add event listener, click check guess. Okay, so number 4, the error message says guess submit add event listener is not a function. So we've probably spelled something wrong. If you're not sure of the correct spelling of a piece of syntax, it is often good to look up the feature on MDN. The best way to do this currently is to search for MDN name of feature on your favorite search engine. Here's a shortcut to save you time in this instance. So if we click on that, it'll take us to the MDN event target method, add event listener. And it says it sets up a function that will be called whenever the specified event is delivered to the target. Common targets are the element, document, and window, but the target may be any object that supports events such as XML HTTP requests. And it says add event listener works by adding a function or object that implements event listener to the list of event listeners for the specified event type on the event target on which it's called. Alright. And number 5, so looking at this page, the error appears to be that we've spelled the function name wrong. Remember that JavaScript is case sensitive, so any slight difference in spelling or casing will cause an error. Changing add event listener to add event if you notice there's a lowercase e, compared to the proper way, the camel case way to spell it with the capital E. So changing add event listener to add event listener should fix this, and let's do this now. Alright, so go to our code. Go to our debugger. Actually, let's go right to the line it's on. You know what's weird though? It's like there's more lines in this code right here than we have in our actual code right here. Alright. So I'm just gonna copy this, Control C. I'm gonna go over here, and I'm gonna Control F, and I'm gonna find it in here. There we go. And as we can see, if we just capitalize that E and save it, it still doesn't work. Well, actually, it does work now. There we go. Okay. Boom. Right on, right on. So let's go back to the console. And now we have another type error, lower high, but I assume that's what we're gonna fix next. So it says, note CR type error X is not a function reference page. For more details about this error. So we're moving on. Syntax errors round 2. Save your page and refresh. You should see the error has gone. Now, if you try to enter a guess and press the submit guess button, you'll see another error, right? Now we have type error lower high is null. Alright, so it says number 3. This time the error being reported is type error low or high is null on line 78. And for us, it's line 108. Alright, so it says null is a special value that means nothing or no value. So lower high has been declared and initialized, but not with any meaningful value. I'll read that again. Null is a special value that means nothing or no value. So lower high has been declared and initialized, but not with any meaningful value. It has no type or value. Okay. Next note, it says this error didn't come up as soon as the page was loaded because this error occurred inside a function, inside the check guess block. As you'll learn in more detail in our later functions article, code inside functions runs in a separate scope than code outside functions. In this case, the code was not run and the error was not thrown until the check guess function was run by line 86. So it says have a look at line 78 and you'll see the following. Low or high text text content equals last guess was too high. Okay, let's see that. Let's find that. Line 78. It's on line 74 for me. So I see that. Alright, so number 5, this line is trying to set the text content property of the lower high variable to a text string, but it's not working because low or high does not contain what it's supposed to. Let's see why this is. Try searching for other instances of low or high in the code. The earliest instance you'll find in the JavaScript is on line 48. So right on line 48, they have var lower high equals document.querySelector lower high. Okay, so let's do that in our code and see exactly where it's at. Control F, paste that in there, and yep, it's on line 47 for us. Okay. So at this point, we are trying to make the variable contain a reference to an element in the document's HTML. I'll read that again. At this point, we are trying to make the variable contain a reference to an element in the document's HTML. Let's check whether the value is null after this line has been run. So it says add the following code on line 49. So console.log lower high. So it's saying line 49, but for us, this was on line 47, so I'm gonna add it on line 48. Alright, so it says note console log is a very useful console log is a really useful debugging function that prints a value to the console. So it will print the value of low or high to the console as soon as we have tried to set it in line 48. Alright, so let's check. And it returns null after we put that on line 47. Oh, Evie, what's going on? Your computer's freaking out? Oh, dude, you know what? We're streaming on YouTube, so you can rewind a little bit. And I'll make sure that we take like breaks every like hour or so, like a 10-minute break. And then you can probably just watch on 2-speed. Let's see. Can you hear us? Let's continue. So we added the following code on line 49. It says note console log is a really useful debugging function that prints a value to the console, so it will print the value of low or high to the console as soon as we have tried to set it to in line 48. Number 7, save and refresh. You should now see the console log result in your console, which we do. We have, it says, it returns null. And it says, sure enough, lower high's value is null at this point. So there's definitely a problem with line 48. Number 8, step 8. Let's think about what the problem could be. Line 48 is using a document.querySelector method to get a reference to an element by selecting it with a CSS selector. Read that again. Line 48 is using a document.querySelector method to get a reference to an element by selecting it with the CSS selector. Looking further up in our file, we can find the paragraph in question, which is P with a class of a value of low or high. So let's find that. Control F. I'm just going to type in class. Alright, so we found that. It's on line 38. Within, it's in a div, the class of result paras. Okay. So number 9, let's see. Are we done with number 8? Yeah. So number 9, we need a class selector here, which begins with a dot. But the selector being passed into the query selector method on line 48 has no dot. This could be the problem. So it says try changing lower high to dot lower high in line 48. So I think that's line 47 for us. Let's scroll down a little bit. 47, and I'm gonna add a dot in front of lower high because this is a class. Save that and check our game. Alright, now we have a different error message. So it's no longer outputting null. Check this message right quick. Yeah, don't be afraid to ask questions. That's why we're all here. If you guys don't understand this, like we're all here for each other. Like, and really, don't be shy. Don't be anything. We're here together this whole month. I don't want anybody to get left behind, and that's why we're going through like 3 different resources. That's why we're going through W3 Schools and Mozilla Developer Network and Free Code Camp. Last month we only went through Free Code Camp and Mozilla Developer Network. This month we decided to go through W3 Schools as well, just to add like another resource to it. We want everybody to get this. So if you have any questions, don't be afraid to ask. But let's continue. Let's see, where are we? So it says try changing lower high to dot lower high on line 48, and we did that. How is the study group structured? So the study group is structured where basically each person reads a page, and what we do is we go through, like I said, last month we only went through Mozilla Developer Network and Free Code Camp. And if you guys don't want to go through W3 Schools, we don't have to. We can just stick to Mozilla Developer Network and Free Code Camp, how we were doing it last month. But yeah, so basically everybody reads a page on Mozilla Developer Network. Like, we'll probably read like 5 pages a day on Mozilla, and then we'll just go through the challenges on JavaScript on Free Code Camp. That's basically how it's structured. Like, we take turns reading this and going through this together, and then we take turns going through this together on Free Code Camp. Let's see. Okay. So we just finished number 9, and we're on to number 10 now. So it says try saving and refreshing again. And it says try saving and refreshing, and your console log statement should return the P element we want. It says, phew, another error fixed. You can delete your console log line now or keep it to reference later on. Alright, so let's go here, and let's delete the console log on line 47, 48. Save that. No errors. Oh wait. Yep. Alright, nice. Okay, so side note, see our type error X is not Y. Reference page for more details about this error. Next on, we have syntax errors round 3. Number 1. Now, if you try playing the game through again, you should get more success. The game should play through absolutely fine until you get to the end. Until you end the game, either by guessing the right number or by running out of lives. So let's try that. Oh snap! No, what's wrong? Control Z. Let's see. What did I do? Oh, okay, right here we have to change this to Control S. Save that. All right, cool. Game over. The guess was too low. All right. We have a message. Let's see. I mean, yeah, there's always, we can always modify it. I don't really want to modify the curriculum, but we can definitely modify the structure of, but, I'm always open to suggestions. Like, just, if you want, like, unmute yourself, tell me what's going on. Actually, we're almost done with this page, but, like, uh, well, yeah, I guess we could take, like, a recess or something, and like a 10-minute recess, and we could just, talk about what's going on here. Like, and you guys can unmute yourselves. It's cool. Like, we're all here together. I know we're recording and we're doing all this other stuff, but just like in the past, we all work together on this. All right, where was I? Let's see. I lost my spot a little bit. Okay, here we are. All right, so yeah, it's our choice. Syntax. Now, if you try playing the game through again, you should get more success. The game should play through absolutely fine until you get to the end, either by guessing the right number or by running out of lives. At that point, the game fails again, and the same error is spat out that we got at the beginning. Type error reset button add event listener is not a function. However, this time it's listed as coming from line 94. So let's check that out. And for us, it's on line 127. Let's take a look. Alrighty, I see that. Yeah, and it gets a lot more fun once we get to like free code camp and we start knocking out those challenges and you guys, we start getting those screen check boxes. But yeah, let's see. And that's also why I usually like going for 6 hours. Gives us like a lot more time together and just knocking stuff out. But 4 hours is fine too. 4 or 5 hours, it's fine. All right, so number 2. At that point, we get an error listed on 94. Number 3, looking at line number 94, it is easy to see that we've made the same mistake here. We again just need to add, we just need to change add event listener to dot add event listener. So let's do that now. And what line was that on? It says 127. Move this. Okay. 127 right here. Copy that. Control F, Control V. Find that right quick. There we go. Oh, okay, it's a lowercase e. So we gotta change that to a capital E. Add event listener. Capitalization is punctuation is very important. Alright, so let's see. Let's run that now. Okay. Let's see our console. No errors. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay. So it says a logic error. At this point, the game should play through fine. However, after playing through a few times, you'll undoubtedly notice the random number you've got to guess is always. Oh, and also notice when I'm sorry, I've played this game so many times. Like you can literally put like numbers in here and like click OK, and it'll tell you if it's like right or wrong, right? There we go. It's number 2 or number 1. Start new game. 3, submit. 4, submit. 5, submit. 6, submit. 0, submit. 7, submit. 8, submit. 9, submit. 1, submit. And just like the last, that's what I think. That's what the next challenge is actually talking about. It's like every time we play the game, I think the answer is 1. Right. So let's try it again one more time. 1. Yeah. So there's something wrong with our randomizer, or random number. A logic error. At this point, the game should play through fine. However, after playing through a few times, you'll undoubtedly notice that the random number you've got to guess is always 0 or 1. Definitely not quite how we want the game to play out. There's a problem in the game logic somewhere. The game is not returning an error. It just isn't playing right. Step 1, search for the random number variable and the lines where the random number is first set. And it says the instance that stores the random number we want to guess at the start of the game should be around line 44. Okay. So let's find this right here. All right. And trust me, I don't understand everything that we're talking about right now. I'm just like following the instructions and following along and just going along with it. Like that's why we're going through W3 schools, and that's why we're going through Mozilla, and that's why we're going through Java Free Code Camp, because this is a programming language. We're probably not going to get it off the first tutorial or off the first challenge or whatever, but the fact that we're constantly going over it again and again, that's what's going to help us, commit it and just have it stick like peanut butter. Um, and that's why we do this as a group as well. So let's continue. So search random number variable in lines. And the lines where the random number is first set, the instance that stores the random number that we want to guess at the start of the game should be around line number 44. Okay. So for us, it is exactly on line number 44. Alright, we found it. And the one that generates the random number before each subsequent game is around line 113. Okay. Control F and find that. Yeah, it's actually on line. Yeah, so there's 2 of them. One on line 44, and the next one is on line 110. Okay. All right. Step number 3. To check whether these lines are indeed the problem, let's turn to our friend console log again. Insert the following line directly below each of the 2 lines. Okay, yeah, console log is like so helpful, dude. Like this will help you solve like debug and solve like pretty much all your problems. Not all of them, but this is our go-to guy right here. So we're gonna type in console log right there. I'm gonna find the other line where we're gonna put this right underneath there. Console log both of them. I'm gonna save that and continue reading. Actually, let me check if anything returns. Let's see. Okay. Nothing. So let's just move on to step 3. Alright, we just did step 3. Let's move on to step 4. Save and refresh, then play a few games. You'll see that random number is equal to 1 at each point where it is logged to the console. Okay, so let's start a new game. Type in 1. Okay, start a new game, type in 1. Alright, same thing. 1. Alright. Oh wow, and if you notice, this right here, it's like actually changing every time we submit and press start a new game. It like adds something right there. So what does it say it's doing? It says save and refresh and play a few games. You'll see the random number is equal to 1 at each point where it is logged in or logged to the console. Okay? Oh, okay, cool. So it's telling us that pretty much that's like alright. So this is working through the logic. To fix this, let's consider how this line is working. First, we invoke math.random, which generates a random decimal number between 0 and 1. For example, 0.56754938843. Alright. So line 1 we have math random. We invoke that, and it generates a random number. Next, we pass the result of invoking math.random through math.floor, which rounds the number passed to it down to the nearest whole number. We then add 1 to that result. Okay? Let's see. Control F, and I'll paste this in there so I can find. Okay. Okay, so it's explaining the line. Okay. So then we add 1 to that result. Okay. Rounding a random decimal number between 0 and 1 down will always return 0. So adding 1 to it will always return 1. So we need to multiply the random number by 100 before we round it down. Okay? The following would give us a random number between 0 and 99. Okay? So hence, us wanting to add 1 to give us a random number between 1 and 100. So let's try updating both lines like this, then save and refresh the game. Save and refresh, and it says the game should now play like we are intending it to. Okay, so I'm gonna change this to 100. Excuse me. Change that back. So let's multiply it by 100. Oh wait, no. So it says math floor, math random. I'm gonna multiply that by 100. Okay, so we're gonna update both lines like that. Let's see. So I think that's both of the lines are now updated. Alright, now we have, let's check. Oh, it actually tells us the number. That's neat. All right, let's look at our game. Bunch of zeros. All right, let's start the game over. It's not 0. Let's try 1. Oh. All right, so we fixed the logic. And if we actually we look at the console log, it actually tells. I think it's 54. Let me try 54. I mean, not the console log. If we look at our console, yep, so it's 54. That's neat. So every time it restarts in our console, we can see what number the random number is. 96. Yep. Congratulations. It's 54 again. Submit. Perfect. 81. Okay, and so on. So other common errors. There are other common errors you'll come across in your code. This section highlights most of them. So we have syntax error, missing a before statement. This error generally means that you have missed a semicolon at the end of one of your lines of code. But it can sometimes be more cryptic. For example, if we change this line inside the check guess function, so we have var users equals number guess field value. So if we change that to var user guess, I think that's strictly equals, make sure. Yeah, strictly equals number guess field value. So it says it throws this error because it thinks you're trying to do something different. You should make sure that you don't mix up the assignment operator, which is the equal sign, which sets a variable to be equal to a value, with the strict equality operator, which tests whether one value is equal to another and returns a true false result. Let me read that again. It throws this error because it thinks you are trying to do something different. You should make sure that you don't mix up the assignment operator, which sets a variable to be equal to a value, with the strict equality operator, which tests whether one value is equal to another and returns a true false result. Okay? So, side note, see our syntax error missing statement, syntax error missing before statement reference page for more details about this error. Alright, so the program always says you've won regardless of the guess you answered. Really? Let me see. So it says the program always says you've won regardless of the guess you answer. This could be another symptom of mixing up the assignment and strict equality operators. So did I miss something? Okay, so I don't think I changed this to the strict equality. Sorry. Control F, then I'm gonna change that. Control V, paste that in there. Change it to strict equality. Save that. Go back to our game. actually not even submitting. Unexpected error on line 92. So let's change that back, see what happens. Okay. I'm not sure if I'm doing something wrong here. Let me just take a look at this right quick. Alright, let's check our console. Syntax error, unexpected token. Alright, so yeah, when we do that, it messes up the game. Okay, so I'm gonna change that back. And it should be playing just fine again. There it is. Alright. So basically, it's telling you that the strict equality and the assignment operator are two different things. This paragraph right here. So the program always says you've won regardless of the guess you enter. So this is a new error. This could be another symptom of mixing up the assignment operator, or mixing up the assignment and strict equality operators. For example, if we were to change this line inside check guess to where it says if user guess strictly equals random number to if user guess equals random number, the test would always return true, causing the program to report that the game has been won. Be careful. Actually, don't find in our code. Alright guys, give me 1 second. Let me just move this. Let's see, where are we? Honestly, I think I'm stuck right here on syntax missing before statement. So I don't think it's asking us to do that. So I do not see this. I don't see this anywhere in our code. It's not like finding it. So that's why I'm a little stuck right here. Well, let's just read it anyway. Uh, this could be another symptom of mixing up the assignment and strict equality operators. For example, if we were to change this line inside check guess, if user strictly equals random number to if user guess equals random number, the test would always return true, causing the program to report that the game has been won. Be careful. This one is pretty simple. It generally next we have syntax error missing. Dude, what just happened? Syntax error missing after argument argument list. This one is pretty simple. It generally means uh, that you've missed the closing parentheses off the end of a function method call. So note, see our syntax error missing uh, argument list reference page for more details about this syntax error missing after property ID. I think it's just giving us like a bunch of errors right now. I don't think we actually have to put this in our code. So let's see. Syntax error missing after property ID. This error usually relates to an incorrectly formed JavaScript object. But in this case, we managed to get it by changing function checkGuess to, okay, if you notice, there's like a opening and closing parentheses, and then we changed that to function checkGuess with just an opening parentheses. So it says this syntax error missing after property ID. This usually relates to an incorrectly formed JavaScript object, but in this case we managed to get it by changing this to this. This. This has caused the browser to think that we are trying to pass contents of the function into the function as an argument. Be careful with those parentheses. I'll read that again. This has caused the browser to think that we are trying to pass contents of the function into the function as an argument. So syntax error missing um, uh, closing like squiggly bracket after function body. This is easy. It generally means that you've missed one of your curly braces. There we go, curly brace. From a function or conditional structure. We got this error by deleting one of the closing curly braces near the bottom of the check guess function. So syntax error, unexpected expression, got string or syntax error, undetermined string literal. These errors generally mean that you've missed off a string values opening or closing quote mark. Okay. Uh, in the first error above, string would be replaced with the unexpected characters that the browser found instead of a quote mark at the start of a string. The second error means that the string has not been added, or excuse me, has not been ended with a quote mark. For all these errors, think about how we tackled examples, um, how we tackled the examples we looked at in the walkthrough. When an error arises, look at the line number you are given. Go to that line and see if you can spot what's wrong. Bear in mind that the error is not necessarily going to be that line, and also that the error might not be caused by the exact problem we cited above. Side note, CR syntax error, unexpected token, and syntax error. Unterminated string literal reference pages for more details about these errors. Summary. So there we have it. The basics of figuring out errors in simple JavaScript programs. It won't always be that simple to work out what's wrong in your code, but at least this will save you a few hours of sleep and allow you to progress a bit faster when things don't uh, turn out right earlier on in your learning journey. Alright, so next we will be moving on to storing information you need, variables. And we've been going for about an hour and a half, or about an hour. So let's take a 5 minute recess. Usually we take 10 minutes, but usually we go for 6 hours. So we'll just take about 5 minutes. It's 8:33 where I'm at right now, so we'll convene at 8:38, and let's see who is after me. Ramona, if you would be so kind as to start storing the information you need, variables, after we get back. Is that cool?
Okay, so do I need to share my screen and stuff?
Yeah, I'll stop sharing.
Okay.
Where'd Floxo go? Floxo's I gotta go. Yeah, dude. I think Floxo was like in the last like 3 JavaScript groups we were in. That's why I say like they'll just like guys will just come in and out. We have a React group going on right now too. So so like how is everybody going? Like is everybody kind of like understanding what's going on? I know it's like like back and forth a bit, but like if anybody has like questions or anything, just let me know.
Hello.
Hey, me.
Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, this structure is not really going to work well for me. I was thinking, like it's going to be a group where okay, maybe we were assigned lessons and then we come back to review, the difficult sections or something. So
Okay.
this, yeah. Okay.
I understand. I totally understand. No, this is like usually how we do it. Like, I mean, I could do something like that where like we assign something but like usually we just like work it out together like 4 hours a day. Like, like everybody's on the call. That's how we usually do it. I've never actually tried like assigning sections or anything like that. Like, I never even thought about that. That's interesting. I mean, if you want, I could put something together like that for you because it's basically the same thing. Like, if you because like what we're gonna end up doing is we're going through all of the JavaScript. Oh, you can't see my screen right now. Let me see.
I haven't started sharing yet, so.
I'm gonna share my screen right quick. So Ebiemi, basically how we do it is like we're gonna go through all of this,
Mm-hmm.
all these articles together, Just these ones right here.
Yeah, I understand how you guys are going through it now, but no, it's not. It's not going to work for me, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's fine. I totally understand. You know.
Yeah, I think what she might be saying is, I don't know, this whole reading everything. I think maybe like what we should do is, like you said, create an assignment you guys need to read, and then we come back and we discuss what we read. If there's somebody that has some questions or something, you know, like when you were talking about the string operators, how many people understand what the string operator is? Did anybody understand that part?
Yeah, so I know what it is. You get, but I don't know. I just know that this structure is just not going to, you know, work pretty well for me.
So what kind of structure would you like?
Yeah, so the structure I would prefer is, you know, maybe ahead of, like, if we're going to have a class tomorrow, for instance, then you can be like, okay, read this section of the MDN, or read this section of W3 schools, or this section of free code camp. And then we come back and then, you know, we just discuss all that we've read, and, you know, any difficulty anybody, you know, has is put out, and then other people that understand can, you know, make clarity to that person, you know. So that's
I see. Yeah, Elliot, what's up, dude? Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, because that way we're working more on the issues and stuff like that, especially since we've kind of cut it down from the 6-hour course to the 3-hour course. We won't be able to finish the projects in time either.
I hear you.
And I think you might be losing some people because not maybe everybody's a reader. And from what I understand, you might have had somebody fall asleep yesterday.
Yeah.
Anybody else have any thoughts, ideas? Oh, Mr. Elliott's taking a walk. Enjoy the beautiful outside.
I'm here.
I'm doing some yard work. I had to do honeydew things.
Oh, that's fine.
But I was just going to hop in for a second to say hey to some of the new people. But how are y'all?
I'm doing good.
You have Ramona Ibiyemi. Am I saying that correctly?
Yes, you're correct. Hi, Elliot. How you doing?
Welcome. We're glad you're here.
Awesome.
Welcome to W3 Develops.
Thank you.
But, I didn't want to interrupt. I just wanted to say hello.
That's cool, dude. We're on a break right now, like a 5-10 minute break.
Okay.
So Abby, was just telling me, like, she actually had a good point. She was like, the structure, how, like, you know how, like, usually we like sit here like 6 hours and like read together. This one, we're like doing it for like four hours.
Yeah, we didn't read the whole time. I think there's a healthy balance that you kind of find.
Yeah, but see, like, they kind of like just jumped in. So like where today, like I just like, cause yesterday I was kind of like just going through. We started at W3 schools, and then I started say at and like I totally understand. It's like, all right, yeah, I just come in here and like they're just reading pages and stuff, and this isn't what I expected.
Yeah,
I get it, but like she like what she would like to do is like she would like to do something where like I have like the courses and stuff, and then like we have something like where we all like, so what, like she said like I like assign the reading topics and read it on their own, and then like during the time that we're here we would just talk over like what people are going through and like what's, you know, what they don't understand and stuff like that.
Yeah,
or maybe we could summarize the page. So like, for instance, right now, and this is like this is a perfect page for me. Because this is the issue I've been having with JavaScript, because everybody uses all different kinds of verbiage. And I'm actually trying to work on some documentation. And my thing, and you can actually see my little whiteboard. right here. See this, you guys? So return a function, define a function, declare a function, create a function, invoke, call, and render. Everybody uses different words.
Exactly.
It drives me crazy, people. Oh, and then we got var, let, and const, but you're not supposed to use var anymore.
Really?
You know,
Well,
we're trying to do the whole ES6 thing, so.
Yeah, with
there's
the
situations
ES6.
where you still would want to use var, but yeah, I mean,
But
it
for the
depends on
most,
your scope. Like if you're in a block scope, then you want to use let and const. But if you're in a global scope, then it would still be okay to use var.
yeah.
Is my understanding. But I'm still a junior. I'm still trying to figure it out myself. So
Right. And so like right now, I'm reading this right now and stuff like that. So, you know, basically the way I'm understanding and the way I'm writing my documents. So declaring a variable, I'm making a declaration. I'm buying a car, correct? So it's all like, I would do let new car. That would be my declaration. Okay. Then, and so now I've heard different people call this different something. Like here, they're saying initializing a variable.
Yeah, initializing when you like
But-
get equal to something.
But then
Yeah.
where is it?
that would be assigning it with an equal.
Okay, and see, there he goes. He's already, so some people say initializing, some people say assign, but where does define come in also when you define a variable? Or is that another word for same thing as initializing?
Yeah, that's the thing with programming. Like, there's a lot of different ways to do the same thing.
Yeah.
But when you're a junior, when you're beginning, and it's all like, I'm sitting in here in like one of these groups right here, and people are like, well, where did you declare your variable? I'm like, huh, what? And sorry, you're using the wrong word. The tutorial said it this way, and
Yeah, I don't know. I just go by the
Declare when you
tutorial.
assign.
and so that's kind of what I want to write my document on is because we're going to be, when we get out into the real world, everybody's going to have a different word for something, and just kind of helping people along on how to do that.
Maybe we can post this on Twitter and see what the big guns, the people in the real jobs, say. Because my instructor, they always say, initialize something. And you do the Udacity one, it was more like declare. And I'm like, wait, what?
And it was like, I'm sitting there doing a webinar with Roderick, and he's like, well, where did you initialize? I'm like, huh?
Yeah,
Because,
jargon is different based on your environment.
I feel like it's interchangeable at this point because I've looked up documents or articles, and they're like, it's different, but for some reason they use it the same way. I'm like,
well, and it's the same like with render and return, especially when we got into React, because everything was rendered, and I was like, hold it. I just finally understood return, and now I'm supposed to render stuff.
I wouldn't worry too much about it in terms of your jargon, as long as you understand the concepts.
Well, unfortunately, when you're just starting,
at a junior level, that should be enough.
But unfortunately, when you are just starting and and somebody's trying to help you, they're all like,
confusing. I'm with you.
Where did you declare your thing? And I'm all like, I'm thinking that the declaring would be on the function side, but here we're just creating the variable. I'm all like, I always thought that when I declare,
it's no doubt confusing.
Yeah. So for me, I would be all like, okay, I'm declaring my variable. I'm declaring new car. And then I would do function car blue. And that would be, that's what I would have thought would be initializing it. But, and so, that's where.
The more you work with it, the more you get more comfortable with what jargon you're using.
Yeah. And even like here, I guess I should share my screen. That's here. And where is the little share thing? Come on. Or are you still sharing?
So, Ebony, what I'm thinking is like what we could do is like you already know what our curriculum is, right? So what I'll do, I don't exactly know the exact amount of time that it's gonna take to do each section. So it would be difficult for me, especially since every single one of you guys here knows more about JavaScript than I do. It'd be hard for me to like come up and say, hey, like do this amount of work today, and then like I mean I could do something like that, but it's like I don't like it's just kind of difficult on me to like to assess what people are able to get through on their own. So let's say I say do 4 or 5 pages on MDN today, and then do like 5 pages or 5 challenges on Free Code Camp tomorrow. Like the fact that like that people have to go through it, and like if somebody's stuck on like number one. All right, I see what you're saying now. I actually like that idea.
You understand? So yeah, if you're stuck, then when you come back, you have the opportunity to tell every other person in the group, and then we help out. I mean, it's not a must that I'm just thinking. I mean, whatever you assign, not a must that at the time we meet, you must have completed it. If not, then you have your own time to just catch up with something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And we can rewatch the video and stuff like that,
So, I mean, one aspect of it is just being able to have
I prefer, to have just
can be helpful.
Okay, or we all, study together, but it has to be realistic. It has to be something that, we all can cover. I mean, it's pointless to give ourselves 5 pages if we know that, okay, we won't be able to cover the 5 pages, before the next study meeting. I mean, so if 3 pages, then okay, fine. Then, it's best to just give something that is doable for everybody.
And that's what I'm saying. I would need help figuring that out.
Yeah, so it's something we all can agree on. Okay, so do we go at 2 pages or 3 pages? I really don't. I'm familiar with FCC and W3 develop, so I'm not really familiar with MDN, so I may not be able to say, oh, okay, we should be able to do 3 or 5 pages with MDN, but because W3 develops is quite W3 schools, it's quite explanatory, so, and then, there are examples and all of that you can do. So you can move at a faster pace. So with those two, I mean, FCC and W3, I can, make suggestions, but with MDN, I'm not familiar, so I won't be able to.
Right. Actually, MDN is going to be a real good thing for you to learn, Ibiyami.
Yeah. Okay.
Because, I mean, everybody, and even when you work out in the real world, they'll tell you go to MDM or Stack Overflow. I can't stand Stack Overflow, the structure and everything like that. And most of the people talk over my head and Stack Overflow still.
I have a... Would it be possible if we do like a open study session here? Kind of like the first, I don't know, if we're doing like the first 2 hours or something, we're discussing what our problems were through the prior assignment or whatever. And after that, go on and start working or doing our own independent study, but we're still here though.
Mm-hmm. No, I didn't like that, Ebby. Like when we did it in Udacity, you're talking about like the study jam thing and stuff. Even Code Buddies has this room. Yeah, I didn't, because it's all like, I don't know, it's all like your code and then and the distraction and stuff like that. Yeah. The other thing too, Jonathan, like since we're going to be doing the free code camp exercises, maybe we don't need to do the MDM exercises.
No. That's the thing. Like honestly, we can drop W3 schools and we can drop the JavaScript info. The 2 that I want to focus on is MDN and free code camp.
Okay. Yeah. See, I've never really did, and I mean, I can do. I think I've maybe read a couple of articles, but I've never actually gone through the JavaScript info.
Yeah, we can close that, and we can close W3 schools because the curriculum is really MDN and free code camp. That's like in the past, that's what we've always gone through. And like the thing is, like we've had people that have studied JavaScript for a year, 2 years, and they've gone through free code camp for a year, 2 years, and they've gone through the whole JavaScript section. But then once they go through the MDN JavaScript section, it's like,
Right.
oh, I didn't know that's how you do that. Oh, this is cool. You know, and I'm
As you can see, I was having fun with that.
Yeah.
nice.
I mean, I think that the
That's
MDN
cool.
is very advantageous just because some of the words, like, you know, we were discussing about the whole declaring, whatever it is.
The thing about MDN is the actual creator of JavaScript is the one that created MDN.
Oh, well, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Cool.
Really?
Yeah, Brendan Eck, the guy that made Firefox.
Mm-hmm.
So Mozilla, the Mozilla Corporation, he created the Mozilla Corporation, and he created Firefox. So that's why that's why we go through. So even if you notice, if you open your developer tools, whether you're in Chrome, whether you're in Firefox, whether you're in Internet Explorer, when you open the developer tools, if you noticed, when you saw that error message, it actually took you to Mozilla Developer Network. That's how ingrained into the internet, in you know, just the definitions of JavaScript and all this stuff like MDN is. That's why I say we can drop everything else. We can't drop MDN. That's like a core building block in our education.
Yeah, MDN is really like the holy grail. Like it's got everything.
I think we should keep it. We should keep
at least for vanilla JavaScript. It's got what you need.
Yeah.
You can even look up if you have any term that you want to look up. You can click in mdn.io and then do open tag. Put your term in, close tag, and it'll find the term for you that you're looking for.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, MDM is the Google for programming.
Basically.
Yeah, that's like.
I know it's a lot to look at, and it's like, I totally get it. Like, I totally get it. It's like it's a bit, But the thing is, it's like learning the code is not easy.
Right.
So we have to do what's hard, and the reason that we do this together is because of that reason.
Yeah, it may not hurt to pair off even and read it together. Like one person take a turn, the other person take a turn reading.
That's how we always do it.
In pairs of twos, even. Like I've even been thinking of that. Like just two people pair up and they go read it together.
I see.
On a Discord DM together, and they just go read it together, and then they come back in like 30 minutes, and then they just say like, "Hey, like we're here in the reading. We've gone through. We pair programmed through MDN together, just talking through it, and all the while like." Maybe one person's listening and then they're summarizing it or something like that. Like, who was it that was saying, Ramona, you were saying like summarizing it is helpful for you. I've done that in books. Like I've written in my margins. I've read a section or a.
Now, did you guys do any free code camp yesterday?
No. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to stop going through W3 schools, and we're not going to be going through JavaScript info either. So I can assign that, and I can assign the 10 days of JavaScript to you guys as homework. Like those 3 places right there. I'll start working on a curriculum. And those will be like homeworks, side exercises that, you can go through. But for now on, I'm gonna just keep it how we kept it in the past, and I'm gonna just keep going. We're just gonna stay going through, because I'm not sure if you knew either. Quincy Larson, when he made Free Code Camp, he got the majority of his resources from the developer network.
Yep.
Yeah. So
because basically I'm looking like right now, the page that I'm supposed to read is, on the variables and stuff like that. And I noticed that is like the assignments that we're getting ready to do right now. So it's all like we can discuss the MDN variable page and then come do the free code camp assignments.
Right. Yep. That's exactly what I had planned on doing. Like we're gonna stop at variables, and then we're gonna move on to the free code camp and just knock out some free code camp all the way up to operators. We're gonna start on W3 schools and operators, but I'm just gonna stop doing W3 schools period, because
where's operators at?
I don't want to take up too much time.
But it's good to have that as a reference. Like if you have the time and you want to learn more, I would say go to that other information too.
Definitely, yeah, that's so true.
But the projects are supposed to solidify what you've learned in MDN and Free Code Camp. That's what we did in January. Was we would get to a section and then we would test our knowledge with, like just some mock-up attempts at something to make.
Homework. That was the homework. I was making like homework projects and stuff. And if you guys actually check in the Discord under learning group, Dragon's learning group, you'll see the homework that we were assigning. And I had I had a lot of stuff planned. I wasn't really expecting to go through W schools. I was I was just gonna go through it myself this month. But since we're doing another study group, we can just if you want, I can I'll start assigning tasks and stuff, and I'll just put that in the Discord. And like if you're not here and you want to just read it on your own, you can. And at the end, what me and Elliot were gonna do anyway was we're gonna have like a meetup kind of thing at the end where like everybody just gets together and hangs out at the end of the day from like uh 10 Central, which is like 11 Eastern Standard Time, which is 8, so it's 9 o'clock now, 9, 10, 11, which is 2 hours from now. So 2 hours from now, every night, we were just gonna like have a meetup with like the people that just want to hang out and talk to each other. We just come on and get together. So I think that's.
I'll just be here 3 days a week, but yeah.
Yeah, like I can't make it on Thursday. I have another meetup on Thursday because I can host another meetup.
It's an optional thing, like.
Yeah.
We've had people in the past.
The others, in the other group, there's like a Java group. There's a morning JavaScript group. There's, in the past, there's been HTML, CSS groups. So this is just a big, like, hey, everybody in all the W3 develops groups. Like, we're not going to, like, study. We're not going to get into any code. We're just going to, like, social and have fun and just, like, whatever, like, whatever interests you, we can talk about that and just, enjoy each other's companies, because a lot of times I don't get to spend a lot of time with John because I'm doing other stuff.
Yeah,
so I wanted to like.
And the thing is, like, me and Elliot, bro, like it was crazy. Like me and Elliot, like for so in December, like I said, hey, I want to start a study group. So I just sent shout outs out, and like a bunch of people showed up. But I think, bro, how many people made it to the end? There's only like 5 people out of 100.
Just 5. The core 5
made it to the end and got their certificate. And then,
well, and it's the same with my group. We have like 75 people in my group, but there's only 5 of us that show up on a regular basis and is working on a project with us.
Yeah,
and it's like it's kind of like a companionship, like a friendship that you guys build at that.
Yeah,
and it's really neat. It's really neat. Just being able to have friends and that's why I do this every day, because it's we can go and we can study on our own, but it's like, when you're studying with other people, it's like you get the problem solved right then and there. It's faster, in my opinion. It's faster, because just you're staying with it 6 hours, 4 hours a day, every 6 days a week. Some people 5 days, some people 4 days. But it's just the consistency, and once you continue doing it, it like it really resonates and it sticks like peanut butter.
Yeah, and like there's one girl in my study group from Udacity. We've actually broken off, and me and her are doing Python together, but we'll still meet up on Thursday. We're working through the Free Code Camp HTML CSS stuff.
Okay.
So yeah, she's down there in Florida with you also. I think she's in Fort Lauderdale though.
I was actually gonna move there. I think we were planning on moving there, but we don't feel like moving there.
Yeah. But this part right here is like really important. If we don't grasp the whole variable thing, I just know that this has just screwed me up with JavaScript, because then you start getting into the scope and the hoisting and.
Well, see, that's why we have different resources, because if you go through this whole page and you don't understand it, that's fine. You can go back on your own. You don't even have to go back on your own time. You can sit here and tell one of us, hey, I don't get this. and then we can talk about it a little bit, and then we can just keep on moving on once you kind of get it. And then once if you still don't get it, nobody understands it at all, we can move on to Free Code Camp, and regardless, we're moving on to Free Code Camp, and it's going to explain it to us there. And if we understand it there, well, we have a problem. We're going to have to figure that problem out.
Now, is anybody else having issues with variables? I know that we know how to write it and stuff, but when it comes to writing the code,
variables are pretty easy. I think if we read this page right here, you've never read this page, have you? Exactly. You read this page?
Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. Have you done the variables on Free Code Camp?
Yeah, I'm here on Free Code Camp Rock, so I'm doing it all over again. But see, I've already done most of the JavaScript on the old Free Code Camp. I'm doing the new Free Code Camp because I'm helping Bo with the debugging and stuff. So if you do the Free Code Camp Rocks, if you find an issue, then you would click report bug, and it'll take you to the GitHub page to make an issue on the bug.
Rocks. What's that?
Basically, what Free Code Camp is trying to do is, instead of having just each lesson and then you have to do a project, this new Free Code Camp, and they're calling it V7. Basically, each lesson is going to build onto each other. So by the time you're done with all the lessons, you will actually have a project.
Yeah, if you check Elliot's Twitter, he actually had tweeted a video that Quincy Larson that he had made last month.
Yeah.
Explaining about the version 7 and how when you go through the new curriculum, you're actually going to be building a project as you go through the challenges.
Yeah. So that's why I've started it all over again.
Yeah,
and plus, this is also going to get you into.
It's good to iterate this. You might pick up on something, on another iteration that you didn't get in the first time.
Yeah. And plus, this is also going to get you into Git, learning how to do pull requests, learning how to create issues, doing collaboration, and also
how do you figure that?
Huh?
How do you figure that?
Because when you do a bug, when you hit that bug, it's going to take you here, and then you have to create an issue on the bug that you found. Yeah. Or you can go and you can create do a pull request. See here, right here. So
I don't think it might. I think it would help you with Git, but it would more along the. It looks from what that it would more help you along the lines with GitHub.
Right.
You should really check out that video I had made. It would probably be really beneficial. That's our day 0 video that when we first started the.
But I know, Abby, you remember with Udacity, Git was our Achilles heel. Nobody could stand it. I mean, Udacity didn't go very deep into Git, and coming in here, it's, trying to get out in the real world. That's why, I did the Hacktoberfest and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I didn't know until Hacktoberfest that there was a difference between pull and a pull request.
Wait,
I was all I thought, so I'm sitting in my VS Code, I'm pulling my code, and I'm all like, what? And so I actually had to Google, what is a pull request?
Yeah, when you pull, a pull request is more like a push.
Yeah. And even right now with our group on Thursday, when we created a repo and everybody forked it, then they cloned it, and then when they tried to push it back or create a pull request, I couldn't pull their changes that they made to our collaboration project because everybody had forked it, so it was now in their own repo. And so we learned a lot about that too, that you can't fork it.
Forking it makes it your own thing.
Right. But actually what we ended up doing is
a separate copy, really.
Yeah, but we had to put the path for the master branch, so when we pushed it, we would change it. Now, I forgot what the exact verbiage was, but when we did the git push, we would do the git push to the name of the branch that we forked. That's what we had to do, the workaround. But I know, Ebby, that you're familiar with Git. It'd be yummy. How familiar are you with Git? Have you played around with Git at all?
If you want, after class today, I can help you out with Git.
Actually, I'm getting pretty good with Git. Like I said, I've got to do a workshop. I'm actually helping present. And
Yeah, it only takes about an hour to learn it.
Yeah. I'm doing my second presentation. I'm actually now starting to get to the next level where I'm learning about rebashing and more into the merging. And I'm starting to play around with Git Kraken.
Okay.
So to learn, all the.
I was gonna use Git Kraken. Git Kraken is kind of like Git for GitHub, Git for desktop. But I would honestly just stick with Git SEM, the basic terminal. And so, do you have VS Code downloaded?
Yes. Yep. Git Lens is my best friend.
I'm not sure what that is, but like if you
okay.
Control tilde. Oh, all right. So yeah, and so what you can also do.
So here's your Git Lens.
Click on your terminal. No, in the. All right, so right now your command line is PowerShell. You can actually change that to Git.
Yep.
Bash.
And it should. Hold it. Why isn't it not show? It normally shows because I had like PowerShell, Git, and Python.
Yeah, you really only need like probably not maybe like 5 to 10 commands to use Git. You need like push, pull.
Yep. But basically, here you go. This is Git Lens. Mm-hmm. So here's like all your whole history and everything like that. You can see, you can compare your branches here. See here. Here's my free code camp memory game, my tribute page. So I could, and here then I got my master, my origin master, all this good stuff. So here I can see all of my commits. So if I needed to do a roll, I know that's not the right verbiage. I'm thinking rollback, but what is it when you have to go back a commit?
I'm not sure. I've never really done that. I don't know.
Oh, you've never made an error and had to go back to a working commit?
No, you can always Google that. You can Google it. I don't know.
Yeah. So, but this is what you would do to get back to, a working commit and stuff like that. Cool. You can find. Yeah. So yeah, I love my Git and my VS Code. Yeah, I was working with somebody the other night. He's a command line Git person. I'm all like, okay, whatever. I'm GitHub.
Yeah, command line is the best way to do it, especially since you have VS Code and you have your right there at the bottom of your screen. It's so easy.
Yeah.
It's so convenient.
Yeah, but see, like here with this, I just go here to my Git and then so if come on, where's my project?
That's really cool.
See, but you don't really want to rely on that. You would
so
because it really is only a few commands.
Right, but
why? It's like you have git commit, or actually you have git add, you have git commit, and you have git push. That's all you really need.
I'm gonna close out of this folder here. Give me just a second here. File. Open folder.
Elliot, were you there with us when I went through the GitHub thing? Like you were there. I think you were there both times actually, dude. I think you were there 3 times.
Well, so here with this,
I've been through so many things. I don't.
So here, if you go here, so I hit.
I'm not actively looking with you guys. So sorry.
Yeah. So if you go here, you hit your Git, and you go to those drop down. There's your pull. But rebase. Here's your pull. So you can either pull from the origin or for the master and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Here's your push to your sync. You can check out. Here's all your different commits.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
Yes.
So you don't have to do all of that through the terminal?
You don't have to do it through the terminal. No. Oh yeah. This is why I am using VS Code. If they charge me for VS Code, I will pay. I am never leaving VS Code.
What in the world?
look here, you can show your Git output. So now here,
Yeah,
this would
VS
be your
Code is
Git.
really cool.
Yeah, this is going to be your Git log. See here, here's all your Git log and everything.
No way! Look at all that.
So this is all the stuff that people would write.
Right, like me.
Yep. So yeah, play around with this. Here you can stage your commits, unstage them. You know, you can do your stashes here, everything. And then if you, like I said, if you get Git Lens, this just, you know, the only thing with the Git Kraken, do you remember when we did the Git classes and they had like the picture of all the branches and stuff like that? Mm-hmm. Because I know a lot of, I'm working with some developers now, and they use those branches and stuff, especially when you've got like 4 or 5 different people. The project I'm working on right now, the way they do it is each person has a branch. Even though we're working on the same project, so you don't touch the master. So there's Ramona's branch and there's Sloth's branch, and then we'll do a pull request, and the network or the project admin will look at our pull requests. But we work on our own branch, and that's why they want us to use Git Kraken as a project management tool, more or less, so we can see the history and where the merges and stuff. And that's where I have to learn more about the rebasing and the merging and the branch, because that's what killed me, was the branching.
And that's with Udacity, you said?
Yeah.
I know. I'm actually, me and Evie have already graduated. We've got our nano degree. I actually now have hooked up with through a meetup. And
I see.
We found an organization to do a real live project for us to get hands-on experience to. Yeah,
good for you.
To beef up our resume. So that's where we're doing the volunteer.
Yeah, that's smart.
Yeah, we're doing the volunteer portal for Code for Good. So we found a nonprofit organization that needed something done, and we're creating them a portal page. So we're doing the security, because there's going to be a login. There's going to be MongoDB in the background, and we're going to be serving it with a Node Express server.
Nice. Good work.
But yeah, this is Git, you guys. So this is how I do it. I mean, I still know, like you said, the few command, I know how to do it on the command line and stuff like that. The basics, the Git push, the Git pull, the Git init and stuff like that, because that is how I learned Git. But once I learned how to use the VS Code and stuff like that, I haven't gone back. But one of the things I did learn, Ed, from Roderick in our group, is because he's one of the people that got a job at AT&T. He's saying that when recruiters, but because he was still interviewing, they'll check your GitHub page and they'll look at your green stuff to see how active you are on Git and stuff like that. And so you guys, if you're looking for a job and stuff, you're going to want to get on Git, because this is what recruiters will be looking at, is your GitHub.
What was it exactly they're looking for?
He said that they'll just look at this right here, just to see where how much you're contributing, how active you are in Git and stuff like that. And that's why they had like the Hacktoberfest and things like that, teaching people about open source and things. So you can see after graduation, I graduated February 21st. Somebody took a vacation. I had to debunk my brain.
I hear that. I'd disappear for a whole month.
And then here you can see, because remember we finished the challenge like at the end of April, so we had to wait the whole month of May to see if we got the scholarship, Abby. So there's like nothing here. And I just had that one thing here that what was I forgot what our last project was that we did in April.
Wasn't it the Pixel?
It might have been. So we had to submit it through GitHub. So that's the only thing that I did in the first challenge of Udacity. That was my first experience. You guys could see my first commit there, you guys.
Nice.
My pride and joy.
Yeah.
And now, has anybody?
It's really fun to look back
Yeah.
and see your
Has
beginnings.
anybody done a free code camp project yet?
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's our goal. By the end of the study group, what we're supposed to be doing is we're supposed to be finishing all the JavaScript free code camp projects, and then the HTML study groups that we had, like in order to complete the study group, you have to finish all of the free code camp projects there. And then usually what we do is normally, like, I haven't, since it's day 2, we kind of like just rushed into it, but I have a organization on called W3 Develops University that actually I'll probably like send all you guys the links tonight or tomorrow or something, and build the projects for the study group set.
Okay, cool. So basically, Ibiana, have you done free code camp yet? Have you submitted a project yet?
Yes, I have.
Okay, all right.
I did the responsive web design, so I'm done with that.
Okay, all right. Yeah, because it's all like I had never done one before, and so I just finished my tribute page the other day. Easy. Yeah, but I mean, I didn't know about how to submit it. I didn't know about that whole test thing. I'm all like, why do I have this hamburger button here? So I was all like, if there was anybody who's never done a project or something, I was going to explain some of the, because that thing freaked me out. I'm like, I'm looking through.
It's best to actually do the projects, like do one of the items and then test it.
Well,
and then do the next item and then
test. I didn't know that it was because there's actually nothing on Free Code Camp's site. You know, if you look on the project thing, it doesn't tell you anything about that in the project. So I didn't know what that was. Clear. And I was trying to figure out, how do I have a hamburger in my I didn't put that in there. And I'm looking through all my code. I was going to delete it before I submitted it. And come to find out it's the test. So that was a learning experience. So that's what we did last week.
It's not as intuitive.
Yeah, that's what I did last week in my Thursday free code camp class. I basically, some people had never submitted. There's only me and another girl who submitted a project. And so we went through the whole thing and showed them the storyboard and stuff. See, in Udacity, they called them rubrics. In free code camp, they call them storyboards. Once again, the verbiage and stuff like that.
Hey, so do you guys, let me ask you, do you guys not want to read the MDN?
NPM?
MDN. Do you guys just want to like do this on your own and then like we'll convene maybe like tomorrow or something and like where we can like do it on our own and we'll do the free code camp projects and all this other stuff on our own and stuff and then we'll like just talk about it maybe for an hour a day. Do you guys just want to do that? Because I really want to study.
Yeah, me too.
Like right now. It's up to you guys.
Right.
Like, if you guys want, we can get back to the work right now.
Now, what are we doing? Are we doing the MDN or do
we're going to finish this last page on MDN, and then we're going to move on to Free Code Camp.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so right now we're getting ready to go over variables.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything that anybody is stuck on with variables? Because the first...
I'm going to hop off, Jonathan.
All right, hey, Elliot. Hey,
nice to meet you, Elliot.
Hey, Elliot.
Nice to meet everybody.
Thanks for stopping in.
Hey, has anybody contacted you about tomorrow's study group?
Just a couple of people in the public community chat.
So they have?
Like,
that's good. That's nice.
I asked people to put an emoji, and there was like 4 or 5 people.
Yeah.
And then one other person DM'd me.
Oh, sweet. All
right. But yeah, I think we'll have at least 5 of us will be there.
Okay. That's nice.
Which study group are you talking about?
Well, I might be away.
Paralleling this group. Well, feel free to come join us, Evie, if you're awake. But if you want to be a part of this group, you know, it's it doesn't offend me if you want to be a part of this group and it works better for you. But I'll be up and I'll be leading that group. So
Are you starting from?
I'm not trying to take anybody from this group, but you guys, drill into this time and help each other, because I think everybody learns from everybody else. Like there's things that Ramona can teach us, and Ebiyami and Ebi, and everybody can learn from one another. I think that's the beauty of this group, is that we're all trying to learn together and just grow and learn. What it is that you excel at. We want to learn that from each person that's here.
True.
So with that, I'm going to sign off. But it's a pleasure meeting everybody. And feel free to ask me any questions anytime.
Hey, Elliot, quick question. Are you starting all over again or what?
Yeah, I think we should start all over again.
Okay.
I don't mind because I want to learn from the beginning with everybody else. But
because I was going to use, this month I was going to use W3 Schools, MDN, and Free Code Camp. But I think I'm just going to drop W3 Schools and the JavaScript info. And I'm going to just do it like we were doing it the last few months. And just straight up use MDN and Free Code Camp. So which ones were you going to use?
I haven't looked into detail into what the W3 schools had, but I know that
it would just take too long, especially for like a 2-hour camp. For a 2-hour class. I don't know. Do what you want to do, but
it'll be whatever pace we go at. I'm not trying to hit some deadline. It's just we just get through it.
Yeah.
But I don't want to take up any more of your study time.
Okay.
But we can talk about it later, Jonathan. But you guys enjoy, and just soak up all you can.
Yeah, dude. Best of luck tomorrow, man. I can't wait to see what you guys. Are you gonna be recording your classes too, or no?
Yeah, I will. We can talk about it later, Jonathan. I really don't want to take up any more of your time.
All right, thank
you. But we'll chat later.
All right,
bye, everybody. All right, bye.
Okay, so where is everybody with variables? How comfortable is everybody with variables?
I'm very comfortable. Very.
I think we should just get started on that page, and we should all, we'll get better from here on out.
Yeah.
Together.
Oh, I thought you meant like if you. Never mind.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm comfortable with like this whole part right here. This right here, this section is where it's going to start getting dicey, and this is where we have to get a good foundation from what I've learned, because as you can already see, they're already talking about hoisting. This, if we don't understand this let, var, and const, we are going to have so much scope problem. Like what was it, the last one that we did, where it wasn't a syntax error, but it was, what do they call that?
Logic.
A logical error.
Yeah.
I mean, because Abby, how many times we were like, I'm not getting any error message. Everything is great in the console, but this thing ain't working. And it was a scope issue. That's the big thing. And and like they talk about lexical, when I was reading through here, the lexical grammar keywords and stuff like that. This is so, now this, I totally understand the numbers, strings, booleans, arrays, objects is going to start getting, that was a little dicey for me too. I had an issue with writing my objects and stuff like that. But is there anybody that's more familiar with the whole scoping and stuff like that and the hoisting?
Not completely. If you want, I could probably call somebody in. But I think if we just read through it, like
okay. So I'm going to skip the first half because I think everybody pretty much knows the whole first half, declaring a variable, initializing a variable. Anybody have any issues with that?
No.
Are you okay with that, Jonathan?
Yeah, that's cool.
Okay.
Okay. So basically right now, Jonathan, do you know about ES5 and ES6?
Yeah.
Okay, so everybody's transitioning to ES6, but there's still some people that are like on IE, I believe 8 or less, that doesn't recognize ES6. So that's why they're getting rid of the var, because that's for like the older browsers and stuff like that, but you still kind of need to know it. So basically, like they're saying at this point, thinking, why do we need 2 keywords for defining variables? And the reason is, like they said, back when JavaScript created, there was only the var. And so a lot of stuff is still there. And then let was created in modern versions of JavaScript, a new keyword for creating variables that works somewhat different than var, fixing its issue in the process. So basically, so like this right here, that would be what they would call, and correct me if I'm wrong, Abby, this would be the lexical scope. So this would, if it's here, it can be called anywhere in the code, correct?
If it's a global, what is it?
So this right here, where they just have my name. So when it's outside of the brackets.
It'll be the global scope, yeah.
Okay, or... Once again, some people call it lexical, some people call it global.
See, this is why. Yeah, I was doing it through free code camp, so they always emphasize the global scope.
Right, but that's the big thing, is that it's global. It can be, so this Chris can be called anywhere in your code. So that's why they got rid of the var, because there became issues with what they call hoisting. Do you want to go over var hoisting, Jonathan? Ibiana, how good are you with hoisting? Do you understand scope and hoisting? Because I know in free code camp, we are going to be going over scope. That would probably be what, like Friday, maybe?
I'm not.
Yes, so I do understand scope. And then what did you say? Do I understand again?
Hoisting. Am I saying that right? Is it hoisting or hosting? It's hoisting, right?
Hoisting.
Let me see. Okay, so let me.
So basically with var does what they call hoisting.
It's hoisting.
Yeah. So that's why they're trying to get people away from var. Let can be changed within the block, within the scope. So this is a scope right here. And so you would put the declaration here inside, and then you could only use it within this block. And this is what they would call a local scope, or block scope, block scope. And so that's going to be the difference. So the block scope can only be used within this block, is where this variable can be used anywhere in your code. And then with const, if you use const, of course, it means constant. It can never be changed. So if I say const car equals blue, that means you can't change the color of the car. The car is always going to be blue throughout your whole code. And there is a work around that, and that's probably somewhere down the line that will go into that. But there is one way to change it, and you use the .this to change that. Jonathan, do you have how familiar are you with variables? Because you sound like you've done a few of these free code camps before.
Hello? Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah. I was wondering, how familiar are you with variables? Are you stuck in anywhere, or?
Yeah, I'm a beginner at JavaScript.
Oh, okay, but so do you know how to write variables and declare them and stuff? And
I know how to write like a var.
Okay. So you know what the numbers and the strings and the booleans are, right?
I know what a string is. I know what a number is. Not exactly sure what a Boolean is. I think that's
Okay.
all.
Boolean is basically true or false. So, you know, so here, like it says here, let I am alive equal true or equal false. And this is when we're going to get into functions and stuff like that, is so that way you could change that to true or false.
Okay.
This is going to be a number. Or actually, no, this would actually also be a Boolean, because it's going to be true or false. Is 6 less than 3? That's going to be false.
Okay.
So it would return. So if you type that in the console, it would return false. So, see?
Oh, all right.
So anything that's either true or false, black or white, that's a Boolean, and that's all it can be. That's the only thing you're going to get is true or false. I'm surprised they don't have null here, because null is actually a variable type.
I think they just have like the basics at the moment.
Yeah, for now.
Well, I thought null was a basic, wasn't it, Abby?
No.
Or am I thinking of the primitives?
I was confused with undefined, so.
JavaScript primitives. Oh, right. Oh, I'm like, my whole hand is off the keyboard. Primitive types. Yeah. Oh, because we're talking about variable types here, not. Yeah, see, that's what I thought, because see, look, they didn't even put, okay, yeah, they actually don't have it updated on MDM, because, yeah, there was 6 of them. So you have a Boolean, a null, undefined number, string, and a symbol. This is how we learned it in Udacity, remember?
A symbol?
Yeah, remember.
Did I miss something? I thought it was 5 data types. I didn't think there were 6. Okay.
Yeah, there's 6 of them. The symbol is like the percent sign is what they would call a modulus.
Yeah.
And like the back tick is what we use for template literals.
Would those be considered the, what is it? The symbol, what is it?
Okay, maybe I'm confusing the symbol, because I thought, or where would like the ampersand and the percent sign, because that the percent sign would be for the modulus. Would that be, is that going to be part of the numbers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's an operator.
Yeah. Because you're doing plus, minus, all that.
Okay, yeah. So, but yeah, so we've got a Boolean, we've got null, undefined, a number, string, and symbol. So they were, yeah, see, they're only showing 4 of the 6 here. But here they've got object as a type here.
Oh yeah, it is.
The data type.
It's not.
No, they're saying a variable type. So the 6 data types are Boolean, null, undefined, okay, you know what? I think I'm getting, once again, I'm getting confused here. So there's a data type and there's a variable type.
Yeah, and we're talking about data types, aren't we?
So these are the data types. So that's why they weren't showing null and undefined here, because here we're talking about variable types. So you can have a number. So let my age equal 17. Here's your string. Here's your Boolean, your arrays, and then your objects. So So yeah, there wouldn't be a null or an undefined. Null or undefined is what happens when you create the function. Am I on the right track there? Aw, somebody's doing the hokey pokey. So Jonathan, homework assignment, FizzBuzz. That is like the #1 JavaScript test for interviews.
Yo, I was in CodePen today. I've kept seeing that all day. I was like, what is going on? Why is everybody doing FizzBuzz?
That is the #1 JavaScript test for interviews.
Huh. Okay, well, I don't know what FizzBuzz is. It sounds like a drink.
It's basically a JavaScript version of 99 bottles of beer on the wall. But that might not be for tonight because that's going to go into your loops.
Oh, okay.
You have to learn about Abby, did we do for loops or while loops or both of them with FizzBuzz?
I believe it was either or.
Oh, actually, it looks like loops is the very last thing down here.
Yeah, we're gonna get to loops. Do you guys just want to start going through free code camp right now?
I'm all for it.
Okay. Now, Jonathan, how many lessons? Because you guys basically say that by the time we're done at the end of this month, that we should get the certificate.
But we have to be on our grind. We can't be taking much time like this. We have to like consistently be going through it. Like.
But that's why how many lessons do we have to do a day for us to?
As many as possible, literally.
I mean, independently?
Like we have to go through MDN, and we have to go through free code camp until we can't go through it anymore. That's how we go.
Because I see that we have there's like 26 lessons here, 33, 12.
You gotta think about it like this: 6 hours a day, or 4 hours a day, times 30 days, or times 20 days. No, times 4 days. So what's 4 times 24?
So basically, you're saying because we don't meet on Saturday, right?
Right.
So we meet back up on Sunday. So by Sunday, we should be starting to work on this first project for us to, right?
We don't. No. We do the projects when we get done with all of it. We don't start the projects until we're done with everything.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll see. My other group, we're doing it different. We're actually doing the projects along with.
So this month, we're probably gonna go through about 100 hours. So within 100 hours, you know.
Okay. All right. So now, we're gonna. Everybody want to start at the first one, or?
Yeah, let's start at the first one and just knock them out.
Okay. So, has everybody got their free code camp up and running?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you guys?
All right.
And then how we usually do this is like one person reads one, and then the next person reads the next one, and then so on.
Whoops. Oh, I forgot the multiple line one. Okay, who wants to do this one?
All right, Yummy, would you do the next one, please?
Okay, so
and you guys know that we're streaming this to YouTube, right?
Oh yeah, I forgot. Hi YouTube.
Yeah, we've been live for about 2.5 hours.
Oh, great. Actually, what's the link to it?
If you go to W3 Develops on YouTube, it should say that we're streaming live. And Like a lot of the people, what they do is like we go through these together, and like usually we like read them out loud and stuff. And then the oh, would you stop streaming so Emmy can share her screen, please? And how like and it's okay. And like it really just helps so that the people that aren't here, because there's people that are in other countries, like all across the world, that'll watch this. And,
Yeah.
Like for the hours that we do this, they'll probably be doing it at the same time as us. That's why I like to just stay like that's why I say like we do this like we do this. We just stick to it and just get stuff done the entire time.
Okay.
You know,
Yeah, so can you see my screen?
we can see your screen.
Okay, so I've done the second one. So do I run the test or? Hello?
I'm here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think yeah.
Yeah, so I've done the second one. So I'm asking, do I run the test or I really don't?
Yeah, go for it.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah.
All right, so Abby, would you do the next one, please?
Did it go through?
No.
Nah.
All right, read the question.
Oh, sorry. Okay, so there's a mistake with my.
Yeah.
I've forgotten the camel characters. So. Yeah, done.
All right. Okay.
All right, stop sharing and Abby, share your screen, please.
Yeah, give me a second.
Okay.
Share. Can y'all see this?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay. Is this where we at?
We're on the third question.
On the third one. This is the third one, right? Yeah.
Let me check.
Storing. Yeah. Storing. All right. In JavaScript, you can store a value in variables with the assignment. Blah blah blah. Assign resource from right to left. Everything to the right. Okay. This is assign the value 7 to variable A. Assign the contents of A to variable B. Do not change the code above the line. Okay. Right. So A should have a value of 7. Try that. Right. B should have a value of 7. A should be assigned to B with an equals. So A equals B. Okay.
I think.
Is the other way.
Oh.
B. So you're assigning.
Let me try and see.
I think you should. There you go.
Hold on. Sorry, give me a second to process this.
Yeah.
Why? Why is it
A should be assigned to B. So you're starting with B, and then you're assigning A to B. Do you get it?
A should be assigned.
Try deleting line 7. See see what happens. There you go. All right. Stop sharing and I'm gonna share.
Yeah, sure. Hold on.
Okay. Big green check mark. All right. Where are we?
The fourth one.
JavaScript. Initializing variables with the assignment operator. It is common to initialize a variable to an initial value in the same line as it is declared. So my var equals 0 creates a new variable called myvar and assigns it an initial value of 0. Define a variable a with var and initialize it to a value of 9. All right. So define variable a. Initialize it.
Yeah, I think that should. Yeah.
There we go. Was I not sharing?
You were sharing.
Yeah.
I was? Okay. Let me stop sharing then.
Alrighty, so now it's my turn.
Yep.
Am I okay? Okay. And I apologize, you guys. Yes, I've already. So basically, A equals A plus 1. So because it's saying A should be defined and evaluated to have a value of 6. B should be defined and have a value of 15. C should contain undefined and have a value of I am string. And we do not change the code below this line. Okay. So
would you read the would you know how to do this already?
okay, so basically when JavaScript variables are declared, they have an initial value of undefined. If you do a mathematical operation of undefined variable, your results will be nan, which means not a number. If you concatenate a string with undefined variable, you will get a literal string of undefined. So they're wanting us to initialize the 3 variables, A, B, and C, with 5, 10, and I am A, respectively, so that they do not come up as undefined. So basically, A is going to be equal to 6. B should equal 5, and they want us to use 5 and 10 to equal 15. And then here we need to do a string. So I'm going to do I am a there. And let's see what happens. Okay, A should be defined and evaluated to have a value of 6. B should be defined and evaluated to have the value of 15. Var B equals 5 plus 10. That should be 15. And var C equals.
If you look, see where it says A equals A plus 1. So I think
okay, I see what you're getting. So that should be 5. All right, got that one right. And B equals 5, so then get rid of the 5 and just do 10. Alrighty. And we've got string here, so.
Yeah, and
what's wrong with?
What you want to do is, if you notice, there's a space at the end that actually shows up in your code.
Alrighty.
Perfect.
All right.
Isabel, would you like to go next?
Okay.
Or Yami, I'm sorry.
Yeah. It's fine. Just a minute.
And you see how you had read it like that? That's perfect. That's how we should go through all these problems. Like we just read it out loud, and then we just work it out.
Okay, so I think this is the next one. Okay, so that's understanding case sensitivity in variables, right?
Perfect.
That should be the next one. Yep. Okay, in JavaScript, all variables and function names are case sensitive. This means that capitalization matters. My var is not the same as my var, no, my var. It's possible to have multiple distinct variables with the same name but different casing. It's strongly recommended that for the sake of clarity, you do not use this language feature. Best practice, write variable names in JavaScript in camel case. In camel case, multi-word variable names have the first word in lowercase and the first letter of each subsequent word is capitalized. So here is an example, and what to modify the existing one. Okay. Okay. So okay. So
You wanna now you want to what's it called? You wanna define it, not define it. Your assignments. I mean, you wanna do the same thing with your assignments because right now your assignments are different from your variables.
You just basically change.
Oh, there you go. You wanna do that too?
case over.
Oh, they can't hear me.
Study. Do we understand what I'm doing?
Yep.
Yeah.
Done.
All right.
Perfect.
Looks like we got a new person in the group. Oh, okay, she dropped off.
Abby, it's your turn.
All right.
I don't know where she went. She didn't say nothing.
I'm here. Bye.
No, not you though, Isabel.
Yeah.
Oh, don't hurt yourself on this one, Abby.
No problem. Basic JavaScript, add two numbers with JavaScript. Numbers data type in JS, which represents numeric data. Now let's try to add two numbers using JS. JS uses plus symbol as addition operation when placed between two numbers. Example, my var 5 plus 10, change to 0 so that sum will equal 20. So sum equals 20, use the plus operator. So, okay. All right, so. Oh, I can change this, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I bet. Let me change that. Oh, I'm sorry. Did everyone get that?
10 plus 10 equals 20.
All right, let me stop here.
All righty. Oh, share. Oh, okay. So, Jonathan, you're taking over. All right.
Oh, is it your turn?
Yeah, because didn't you already do one?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. You can do this one. I'll get the next one.
Okay. Basic JavaScript, subtract one number from another with JavaScript. We can subtract one number from another. JavaScript uses the minus symbol, it's for subtraction. For example, my var equals 12 minus 6, assign 6. Change the 0 so the difference is 12. 30 something, 33.
Dear Google.
There we go.
Guess what we're on, you guys?
What's that?
Multiplication. So basically, you're going to use the asterisk symbol for multiplication here. Oops, let me move that out of the way. So basically, we got to do something to equal 80. So 8 times 10 equals 80.
Oh,
Everybody understood that one?
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty. And they told me that I don't need to know math and JavaScript.
Who's next? Ibiemi?
Yeah. So
I think we're on division. Yep.
yeah, so we can also divide one number by another. JavaScript uses the division symbol for division. Example, my var equals to 16 divided by 2. Assign 8, so change the 0 so that the quotient is equal to 2. So it should be 33. Done.
Perfect. I know we're moving through these quick, but once we get later on, you'll see we do it like this. Evie, I think it's your turn.
We can easily increment or add 1 to a variable with the ++ operator. I++ is the equivalent of I equals I + 1. The entire line becomes I++, eliminating the need for the equal sign. Change the quote to use ++ operator on my var. All right, my var should equal to 88. So let me try this. My var plus 1. Let me try this. Okay, sure. Did everyone get that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay.
Ramona, I think it's your go.
Alrighty. Wait, I did something wrong because it's not changing.
Uh-oh.
Oh, go ahead and share your screen. Let's see what the problem is.
Here we go.
Do I have a space? All right, let's try.
Okay.
All right, reset your code. All right, let's see. What's the question?
This is where we're supposed to use the ++.
Right, the I++. So what you need to do is...
Oh, so I actually get rid of the 1, right? I just do the ++.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And you want to put them together.
Yeah.
You actually want to add them to the end of the my var and erase that space between it so that it'll increment properly.
Yep.
And delete there. Okay, I didn't know you can have a space between it. That's neat.
Yeah.
Okay.
Decrement number.
So now we're going to be decrementing a number, so basically reducing it. And so basically we're going to do the same thing like we did before. So we'll get rid of that. And we're going to put a minus there. Let's see what happens. That it doesn't like that, so we got to get rid of the 1. And voila.
Right on. All right. If you would just keep like sharing your screen.
Oh, okay.
Let's see. Let's see. Where are we? There we are. All right. So basic JavaScript. Create decimal numbers with JavaScript. We can store decimal numbers in variables too. Decimal numbers are sometimes referred to as floating point numbers or floats. Note, not all real numbers can accurately be represented in floating point rounding errors. Create a variable, myDecimal, and give it a decimal value with a fractional part, for example, 5.7. So it says myDecimal should be a number. MyDecimal should have a decimal point. All right. Boom, baby.
Okay. Should be a number. It is. Oh, myDecimal.
Oh. Capital D too.
Well, I had it. Yeah.
That's okay.
All right. There we go.
All right. Who's next?
Okay, I think I am.
Ramona, would you stop sharing, please?
Oh, okay.
Thank you. That was just for me. We just decremented a number. No, we actually.
I think we're here. Multiply 2 decimals with JavaScript.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so in JavaScript, you can also perform calculations with decimal numbers, just like whole numbers. Let's multiply 2 numbers together to get their product. Change the 0.0 so that the product will equal 5.0. So this would be 2.5.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Done. I think Abby is next.
All right, now let's divide one decimal by another. Change 0.0 so that the quotient will equal to 22.
2.2.
Oh, I'm sorry, 2.0. 2.2. I knew that. Okay. Let's see.
I think that's 4.
0.4.
No. It's like 8 point something. What's 2.2
No,
times 2?
They actually gave you the answer.
Do they really? Where? Oh, they give you the answer. I wonder how many people couldn't figure that one. Like, it just took time. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, you try. You do the most. We got that.
Yeah.
Thank you, Free Code Camp.
Next, finding a remainder. Let's see.
Oh, the wonderful modulus.
Yeah, now it's about to get something started. All right.
Let's see. Basic JavaScript, finding a remainder in JavaScript. The remainder operator, which is a percent sign, gives the remainder of the division of 2 numbers. For example, 5 remainder 2 equals 1 because math floor 5 divided by 2 equals 2, which is the quotient. 2 times 2 equals 4. 5 minus 4 equals 1, remainder. Usage. In mathematics, number can be checked. A number can be checked to be even or odd by checking the remainder of the division of the number by 2. So 17, remainder 2 equals 1. I'm not sure if I'm saying that. I'm going to say 17% 2 equals 1. 17 is odd. 48% 2 equals 0. 48 is even. Note, the remainder operator is sometimes incorrectly referred to as the modulus operator. Okay, so I'm going to just call it remainder. It's sometimes referred to as the modulus operator. It is very similar to modulus, but does not work properly with negative numbers. Set remainder equal to the remainder of 11 divided by 3 using the remainder operator. I'm going to change code below this line for remainder. It says set remainder equal to the remainder of 11 divided by 3 using the remainder operator. Alright, so remainder has been initialized. Remainder. Done. Alright. Yummy?
Okay.
Abby, this is the part that I hated.
Oh yeah.
'Cause I am not good at math whatsoever.
Oh darn.
So we're here, right? Compound assignment with augmented addition. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so in programming, it's common to us to use assignments to modify the contents of a variable. Remember that everything to the right of the equal sign is evaluated first. So we can say my var equals my var plus 5 to add 5 to my var. Since this is such a common pattern, there are operations which do both the mathematical operation and assignments in one step. One such operator is the plus equals operator. So my var equals 1. My var plus equals 5 will give us 6. Yep. So convert the assignment A, B, C to use the plus equals. Okay.
Oh, that's fun. Yeah, we can do that. Let's do it.
Yeah, this is easy.
All right. Yay.
Nice. Do you guys understand like what happened in that last? Okay.
Ramona, did you get that?
I'm doing something wrong again. I think I'm getting tired.
Okay, share your screen. Let's see.
Oh. Give me just a second. Unfortunately, I'm a help desk operator, so I sit in front of the screen for 9 hours a day.
Oh wow, that sounds like fun.
I know all about that.
So did I put the plus? Yeah, I got the plus equal.
Yeah, you might want to
look at if you look at the
You need to remove the. You don't need to have the A and equals anymore.
Right.
Equals A. You don't need to.
Oh.
What? Yeah. And you need to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect.
Oh, but still not liking something. All right. Reset.
Oh, you're missing. There.
What?
All
Any?
right. Do what you just did again. No, not that.
What?
And I think you're starting all over again, right?
Yeah,
Mhm.
I reset everything.
Okay.
Oops.
So you might want to. I think you need to flip the C and 7. I don't know. Maybe.
No, she has to flip the line 8.
Line 8.
B should equal
Yeah,
26.
B,
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true. I was
B
like,
plus equals 9.
that threw me off.
All right.
Now, do you understand what we did there?
Yeah,
Okay.
I just wasn't paying attention. So like that whole 9, flipping that.
No
Mhm.
worries.
All right.
Am I next?
Like I said, I am not good at math whatsoever.
Listen, I didn't even pass math in high school, so
Good for you.
it's crazy. I was taking college English and stuff, but I couldn't pass algebra 1. It was weird.
Am I next? Or I think so. Let me try.
Oh, no, I think I'm next.
All right. Well, if that's the case, go ahead.
But you know what? Practice makes perfect. And I think it had something to do with I couldn't understand my teacher for 3 years.
Oh, they had me in remedial math all my life.
I wish I would have been in that. I probably would have been better. Compound assignment with augmented subtraction.
B should be -6.
All right, so it says compound assignment with augmented subtraction. Like the plus equals operand, the minus equals subtracts a number from a variable. My var equals my var minus 5. We'll subtract 5 from my var. This can be rewritten as my var minus equals 5. Okay, so A.
I gotta take the doggy out real quick.
Okay. B and C.
Oh. Okay.
Going back through this again, I've done this like 2 or 3 times already, but going through it again, it kind of it really helps out. That's the same thing that the other guys were telling me before. I never really realized it though. It would like kind of help out even more.
I'm basically doing the same thing with the multiplication part.
Yeah. Multiplies a variable by a number. Oh my gosh, you have like such an adorable dog.
Oh. This is Rocky.
Oh, look at Rocky. What's up, Rocky? Look at his eyes. He looks foreign.
Actually, he's 17 years old, totally blind now.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Oh,
yeah,
gosh.
most dachshunds don't make it. Their life expectancy is 14. So he's
How does he walk around if he's blind?
Huh?
How
He
does
walked into things.
At least he's got somebody that loves him.
Yeah. Actually, it was pretty funny in the wintertime because our door is white. So he kept running into the snowbank thinking it was the door to get into the house.
Oh, so he's not totally blind, huh?
No, he can see bright. So he can see white. So we've got like a white blanket for him. So he knows that is his blanket. He knows he can see the door. But he's real sensitive to the sun. You can actually see him flinch and stuff when we take him outside and stuff.
Mm.
That's our baby.
How old is he in dog years? It's your turn too. How old is he in dog years?
I have no idea. He just turned 17. So what's dog years? 9 years to a human?
Oh my gosh, that's an old man. He's like he's almost 200 years old.
We did the augmentation multiplication.
That's the one we just finished. You took
okay, let me finish that one real because I can't get to the next lesson until I finish.
Yeah.
Oh Lord, that dog is a legend.
Yeah, he still runs around and jumps around. He still does puppy stuff and
stuff.
He just he pisses on himself, shits on himself.
Well, yeah.
Okay, so A should equal 25. So A times 5 is 25. 3 times 12. B should equal 36. So B should... Is that one that I have to switch over again?
Mm.
And then C should equal 46. 4.6 times 10. That should be right. Yep. They gave me a trick one.
I think it's 7 years.
Okay, so basically we're doing the same that we've been doing before, but they're saying A should equal 4. So basically we're going to get rid of all of this stuff. We don't need that. Put the equal sign. Whoops. I hear you, baby. Now he's having a problem getting comfortable. Okay, so 48 divided by 12 should equal 4. B should equal 27. So that actually needs to, that should be right.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Didn't have a flipper. So did you guys see that? So basically all I did was take away all the stuff in the front on this one and add the equal sign.
So all those are like A.
Yeah. It wasn't like the multiplication and what was it, the minus one where we had to switch the number with the B and flip them around.
So it's A equals
well,
A plus, it's A
/ which is a whack.
12.
Hi, Tim. Welcome to the group.
Hey, Tim.
Hey, Tim. How's it going?
Oh, is that Tim from yesterday? Mr. Coach?
That's Tim from yesterday.
Yeah.
What's up, homie?
Hey, man.
We're going through some JavaScript, dude.
I see that. I just popped in to say hey, and hopefully I'll be able to get back on the call in a couple hours. And I want to check in to make sure we're still going on and say happy coding, everybody.
Happy coding, dude.
See you in a bit.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm getting ready to drop off here, so you can take my spot because I got something called a just over broke I got to go to tomorrow.
Yeah, we're going to be over in about 40 minutes.
40? Nah.
11:30.
Nah.
Oh, let me stop sharing. Whose turn is it now?
That should be me.
Now we're getting into the hard stuff, you guys. Now, this is the one that we just went over about declaring the variables.
Okay, so previously I think this is where we have, right? Declare string variables.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so previously we've used the code var my name equals to your name. Your name is called a string literal. It's a string because the series of 0 or more characters enclosed in single or double quotes. Create 2 new string variables, my first name and last name, and assign them the values of your first and last name respectively. Okay. Okay. So here we go.
Okay.
We had a lot of people stop. A lot of people stopped in today.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's fun. Are we good?
Okay, so done. Hope we got that.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay. I'll be leaving in the next 10 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah, same here. Because I gotta get lunch together, pick up my clothes, and say hi to the hubby. He calls this my code porn. Okay, yes, yeah.
All the ones and zeros.
All right. So we're working with funny.
Which one are we on?
Oh, sorry. We're doing escaping literal quotes and strings. We're working with signs like the.
When you
quote.
are defining, would you read that, please?
Yeah, definitely. When you are defining a string, you must start and end with a single or a double quote. What happens when you need a literal quote, or a double quote or a single quote inside of your string? In JavaScript, you can escape a quote from considering it as an end of string quote by placing a backslash in front of the quote. Alan said Peter is learning JavaScript. Okay. This signals to JavaScript that the following quote is not the end of the string, but should instead appear inside the string. So if you were to print this to the console, you will get Alan said Peter is learning JavaScript, quotation marks. Use backlashes to assign a string to my str variable so that if you were to print it to the console, you will see I am a double quote, double quoted, and double quote string inside double quotes, and double quote period. So let's see. You should use 2 double quotes and 4 escape double quotes. All right. So, and they should read, I am a double quote inside double quotes. All right. So let me write that. And this would be, I'm going to put this right here. I'm going to put this right here as well. Oh. I'm going to put this right here. And I'm going to put this right here. Let me see what the... I am a double quoted string inside double quotes. This looks concerning, but let's see. Oh, Ashley went through. Let me see something real quick.
Yeah, because I'm...
So basically what you guys are doing here, right, is you have a double quote, right, inside of your, you have your string, and then you don't, since inside of your string you have a quote, a double quote, and then you have 2 double quotes. So what you're doing is basically you're putting a backslash in front of the double quotes that's inside of your string so that when it gets to it, it doesn't close it. The way that you do that is you put the / in front of the quote.
Okay. The period threw me off. but
Yeah.
yeah, that's cool. All right.
Oh, Rocky.
Who's next? Is it
I
Michael?
think it's you. Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Where are we? Yeah, I actually like did this whole section, like the whole basic thing. So I'm not even signed in right now.
Oh.
Yeah, I did it like the last month. So much fun.
Oh yeah. Okay.
All right, double quote, declaring strings, escaping. So I'm at quoting strings. This is where I'm at, right? Quoting strings.
Let's see.
Did escaping quotes last one, so I believe we're here.
Yeah, single quote.
Basic JavaScript quoting strings with single quotes. String values in JavaScript may be written with single or double quotes, as long as you start and end with the same type of quote. Unlike some other programming language, single and double quotes work the same in JavaScript. Double quote str equals this is a string. Single quote str equals this is also a string. The reason why you might want to use one type of quote over the other is if you want to use both in a string. This might happen if you want to save a conversation in a string and have the conversation in quotes. Another use of it would be saving an anchor tag with various attributes in quotes all within a string. Okay, scroll down. Conversation equals fin exclaims to check algebraic. However, this becomes a problem if you need to use the outermost quotes within it. Remember, a string has the same kind of quote at the beginning and end. But if you have the same quote elsewhere in the middle, the string will stop early and throw an error. In the good str above, you can use both quotes safely by using the backslash as an escape character. The backslash should not be confused with the forward slash. They do not do the same thing. Change the provided string to a string with single quotes at the beginning and end and change the provided string to a string with single quotes at the beginning and end and no escape characters. Right now, it says single quotes at the beginning and end, no escape characters. Right now, the anchor tag in the string uses double quotes elsewhere. You'll need to change the outer quotes to single quotes so you can remove the escape characters, okay? So let's change this to a single quote. Change this to a double quote. And erase the escape character. And see what happens if I erase both of these escape characters and make this into a single quote. Will this work? Eureka.
Yeah.
All right. To whom comes next?
Give me just a... It didn't like something that I was doing.
Share your screen.
Oh, it was telling me that I needed to remove a backslash, and I had all my backslashes removed.
I would reset the code and make sure that they're all removed again.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing right now.
And you have to change the two quotes at the beginning and the end.
Yeah. It's still... Okay.
Oh.
I think I'm getting tired, you guys. Because
Oh, I see.
so I've got the single quotes. I have no, see, it's telling me to remove all the backslashes. I don't.
Reset your code.
Yeah, you don't need it because you changed your thing to single quote.
Yeah.
So you have targets still. Can you check it? Okay.
Just a single quote.
Yeah, it did look great, right? But I
And then-
couldn't tell. That's why I just like reset the code. Instead.
And then remove that and
That's
all right. That should be right.
There you go.
What was the difference?
I don't know. You might have been missing like a letter or something. You might have.
All right. As you see, I'm having to make my screen bigger because my eyes are getting tired.
Yeah.
Okay. So we got basic JavaScript, escape sequence, and a string. So quotes are not only characters, but can be escape inside a string. There are two reasons to use escaping characters. To allow you to use the character you may not otherwise be able to type out, such as a carriage return. To allow you to represent multiple quotes in a string without JavaScript misinterpreting what you mean. We learned this in previous lessons. So we've got the single quote, the double quote, the backslash, new line, carriage return, tab, bold, and form feed. So basically, they want you to assign the following 3 lines of text into a single variable by string using escape sequence. So we've got first line, second line, third line. You'll need to use escape sequence to insert special characters correctly. You will also need to follow the spacing as it looks above with no space between escape sequence and each word. Here is the text with the escape sequence written out. So first line is new line, tab, backslash. Second line is new line, third line. Okay. So var my string equals first line.
And remember, you're only going to use the new line for the second and third lines.
Yeah. Alrighty. Okay. So first line. So that should be.
Actually, I don't even think you need a space, so don't even bother to put a space, except maybe for the second line, where you're going to put a tab and a line.
So we're going to do backslash n for new line, right?
Yeah.
Then the next one is tab.
Backslash E. And make sure
we're going to do tab there. So that's going to be backslash T.
You have to remove the new lines and all those stuff.
Yeah.
What do you?
Where your cursor is, it's new line. Actually, you're gonna delete that word new line.
Gotcha.
And you're gonna delete the word tab as well. I think those words are just there to tell you that that's what you're gonna be putting there in place of.
Johnny. So.
And erase that space between the new line and the tab. And erase that space between the backslash, or actually delete backslash in the space.
So this?
Yeah, and the space. So press delete, and press the backspace one more time. There you go.
So get rid of the new line, right?
Yep.
But we're going to leave the second line.
Yes. It should see on the left hand side of your screen where it says first line, second line, third line. It should look exactly like that.
Yeah, so replace it.
So first line is
that. So the first line is on the first line, and then we have a new line after that, and then we have a tab after that. And so what you're gonna put right there after that tab is put a backslash after that tab too, since it's right there.
Right here?
In there, yeah, since it's right there in their
Like
code.
that?
Yeah, like that, because it's right there in their code. So we'll just do it exactly how they say to do it.
So then second line, we're going to do here, new line.
Perfect.
Right? Because second line, the third line is supposed to be new line. Oops. Second line.
All right, so delete that backslash right there on second line. That I told you. Yeah, delete that. See if it works now. Let's see. What are we doing? Second line should be preceded by the backslash character. Proceed. Give.
Preceded.
Precede. Oh.
So pre is before.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So put a backslash there. Before. Yeah. Right there. And let's see. I wonder what we're doing wrong here. Try it now. Let's see.
All right, let's see here. Okay, this quick style guide will help ensure.
No, that's the wrong place. That's if you're gonna edit the guide.
Oh. Yeah, but there's nothing here.
Yeah.
This is a
you might as well exit out of there. There's nothing there.
This is where they're wanting help. So they're wanting somebody to write the content for this.
Yeah. Actually, what they did is they dev.to or dev.io, they are taking the guide from there and they're gonna start using it on Free Code Camp.
Alrighty.
I think they just haven't gotten around to it yet.
Alrighty. So let's see what Bo has to say.
Yeah, let's check it.
This is.
Whoever's playing that music in the background, would you please mute your mic? Because it's gonna make the video and it's gonna make it so that it's like got a copyright strike or something. Yeah, sorry about that. Ramona, was that you?
No.
Okay. I was like, if you're talking, I don't want to mute you. We need you to talk.
It wasn't me. I was singing along though, so I'm not gonna lie. Where we at? Okay.
All right, so that's like exactly what we did, dude. Like, what's going on here?
I think that there's like some type of space issue.
I think right here. So no, see, we need a. He had a backslash.
I thought we had that. I don't know.
Nope. So we needed two right there.
Right.
Really? Huh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because we needed for the. Yep, here. Back for the backslash character. So we needed to precede the backslash character.
Go up to your code right quick.
Is what he was saying. So basically, he had the first line is the new line.
Yeah.
Then you were going to add in for the second.
Look at it. Look at it. You see how it's got like the backslash n, and that's for a new line.
Right.
And we have the backslash t. But where does that after the backslash T? There's 2 backslashes. So what?
Correct.
Backslash
Because what they're wanting is they're wanting a backslash in the sentence and the string.
Oh, scroll up to the thing.
So
scroll up.
No, I'm at the top. This is the code.
No. It's the on the left hand side. Okay, so that's how you
They
put the
want-
backslash in there. All right, cool. So
Yeah, but you want to
yeah, you need.
what is it? You want to
have a
escape that
visible.
backslash so it'll come up in the code.
Right. So you have to
So
put
you
2 backslashes. I didn't know that.
Yep.
That's cool.
Alrighty, you guys. I'm out of here. Puppy dogs.
All right, later. You have a great night.
Alrighty, I'll see you guys tomorrow night.
See you
Thanks,
tomorrow.
you guys.
Hey, what's your dog's
guys-
name again?
Rocky.
Give him like 2 hugs and kisses from me.
Oh, he's missing some teeth. He's got some nasty dog breath. Yeah, that's some nasty stuff going on
An
there.
old man right there, an old man.
Just give him a fist bump for me.
All right, well, dude, thanks, you guys. And I'm going to
Good night,
stop
Mona.
sharing. Bye.
Bye bye.
Right?
All right, what's next?
Okay, yeah, that's me. We'll also leave after this.
All right.
Mhm.
It's going to be you and me, Jonathan.
Okay.
Sorry, the music is from my baby.
No, hey, it's okay. I heard the hula hoop thing going on earlier. You got the kids going
I
having
need to
so
get
much
into
fun.
bed now. Okay, so basic JavaScript concatenating strings with plus operator. In JavaScript, when a plus operator is used with a string value, is called concatenation operator. You can build a new string out of other strings by concatenating them together. Example, my name is Helen plus hi concatenate. Watch out for spaces. Concatenation doesn't have spaces between the concatenated strings, so you need to have them yourself. Okay, so build my string from the strings. This is the start and this is the end using the plus operator. Okay, there we go.
Yeah, we only have like 15 more minutes anyway. We'll be at 11.
Mhm.
Finished it so soon. Uh-oh, what happened? Oh, duh. There. They're so picky. Oh my gosh. Why are they so picky?
Oh, you have to have a space after this is the start.
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay, guys. See you tomorrow.
You have a good night.
You too. Bye.
Bye-bye. Oh, and I'm gonna work on that for you too. I'm gonna work on. I'm gonna figure something out.
What are you talking about?
To get that, because I like that. That's a fantastic idea.
Wait, what are you talking
What
about?
would, yeah.
What you were telling me earlier about like you came up with like a really great idea, like on something where like we do like some work and like we come together. Like I like that idea. I'm gonna try to figure out like if I can.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I'm gonna see if I can like make some study groups like that, like because I think that would like benefit a lot of people.
Yeah, like you study ahead and then you come back and then just review.
Yeah, I like that. I gotta figure out how to incorporate that some type of way.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Have a good night, Amy.
All right, bye.
Bye bye. And then there were 2. All right. Where are we? Do you want to go next?
Yeah, I can do next. Yeah.
Okay.
'All right. So
15 minutes left.
Yeah. Okay. So wait, where am I? Is this
Your screen?
Yeah, hold on. Oh, I'm sorry. Wait, that's weird.
We just finished concatenating a string.
So am I concatenating strings with the plus equals operator? Okay, yeah, okay. They look so similar.
I think that's the one she just did.
Wait, are you sure? Okay.
Pretty sure.
No. It looks the same. The other one.
Oh, it does look the same.
Yeah, I was like, wait, that's interesting. All right, so we can also use the plus equals operator to concatenate a string onto the end of an existing string variable. This can be very helpful to break a long string over several lines. Watch out for spaces. Concatenation does not add spaces between concatenated strings, so you need to add them yourself. Build my str over several lines by concatenating two strings. This is the first sentence, and this is the second sentence. Using the plus equals operator. Use the plus equals operator similar to how it is shown in the editor. Start by assigning the first string to my str, then add on the second string. This is the first sentence. And then I'll do my str plus equals to, this is the second sentence. Plus equals, let's try it and see what's happening. Oh, actually went through. Okay. Did you get that, Jonathan?
Oh, yeah, I got it.
Okay.
All right, let me open up my...
We are constructing strings with variables.
Okay, I'm right here. Stop sharing so I can share my screen, please.
Oh yeah, my bad.
Let's go, dude. All right, let's see. Basic JavaScript they give me the easy ones. Constructing strings with variables. Sometimes you will need to build a string, Madlib style. By using the concatenation operator plus, you can insert one or more variables into a string you're building. Set my name to a string equal to your name, and build my string with my name between the strings my name is and I am well. Okay, so let's set this. Set my name to a string equal to your name.
Fail. That's in. Yes.
My name between the strings. With my name between the strings. My name is. And I. Oh, okay, I see. My name is, and our name as well. Okay. And I thought this was easy. And I am well. Okay. I gotta do something else. So my name, my string. my name should be set to at least string, at least 3 characters long. Use 2 plus operators to load my string with my name inside it. Okay. All right, right on.
Yeah, okay. Ugh. Just as we can build a string over multiple lines out of string literals, we can also append variables to string using the plus equals operator. Some adjective and appended to set some adjective and appended to my str using plus equals operator. Some adjective should be set to a string at least 3 characters long. Append some adjective to my str using the plus. Okay. So this is what they have. We need to work on here.
So it says some adjective should be at least
some adjective using the plus equals sign. So what I'm gonna do is
you want the variable some adjective to be at least 3 characters long.
Okay. At least 3 characters long. Awesome. No, it's cool. Cute.
Obama.
Let me see. Then I'm gonna do, this is what I'm gonna do, because why not? My str. Then I'm gonna do plus equal to some adjective. If it serves me right, it should work.
Do you know how you got that?
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. I should have walked you through. I'm sure. So basically it's saying it should be set to string at least 3 characters long, and that's what I did. And so with this, it was saying learning to code is, and we need to append that to this. So we have to use this variable name plus some adjective right here. But we have to use the plus equals operator. So same concept as earlier. My str. I'm sorry. Yeah.
So it's basically like my str equals
what?
my str plus some adjective, which is just plus equals.
Yeah, plus equals to some adjective.
Okay.
Yeah. We're just basically, this is appending. Yeah.
Okay.
I need to talk it through. I keep forgetting to do that.
So let's see. Basic JavaScript, find the length of a string. You can find the length of a string value by writing dot length after the string variable or string literal. Alan Peter, so we have a string of Alan Peter, dot length, and we have dot after it. And then we have a comment that says 10. So for example, if we created a variable var first name equals a string of Charles, we could find out how long the string Charles is by using the first name dot length property. Okay. So use the dot length property to count the number of characters in the last name variable and assign it to last name length.
Ooh, that's the fun part. Okay. Hmm. What you're saying basically is last name length equals to 8. Do you get that?
Like right here?
So, yeah, it's like that. So you have to translate that to the code on 13, the line 13.
Okay.
So last name length equals to 8. So you probably need to remove that dot length part. Because you're just basically calling it. So after the equals. Oh, did you? Okay. Yeah. So after the equals. I think that, no. Yes. Work on it on line 13. Because you have to do it below the line.
Oh, only change.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is last name length. The word last name length equals to 8.
Mhm.
So you probably need to put last name dot length. Because you're basically saying the last name length is 8.
Ah, okay.
I don't know.
Okay. One,
Did I
two, three,
explain
four,
well?
five. So you know what we can also do right here? I'm gonna console log this right quick.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, go ahead and do that.
Are you staying? So we have like 1 minute left. Are you staying to have that meeting with Elliot after this for like 30?
Oh, it's today? Oh, okay. Yeah. I was going to chill for a few minutes.
I figure out how to console log. Console.log, and then we got this. And
Yeah, I think you need to put that inside the parenthesis.
oh yeah, I didn't even notice that. Thank you.
Oh. Well, you might want to do last name length. Or just do last name dot length. I don't think you have to console that.
Oh, you know, I think you're right.
Yeah. That's weird. Let's see here. I sure did. I clicked the button. Oh, the true.
All right, but so anyways, what do you think about like not doing the W3 schools and just sticking with the MDN and the free code camp? You think that's a good idea?
I mean, I really like the W3 schools.
I do
thing,
too, though.
But then,
But the fact that it took so long yesterday, the other day,
yeah.
you know, like that took up like I think like 2/3 of the day, maybe like half the day, don't you think?
Well, yeah, but it was like, darn, this is so cool. Like I actually understand the concept. So I feel like, you know, it wouldn't be a bad idea for it to be like outside work.
That's what I was thinking too.
Yeah, but
We really good outside work.
Yeah,
I think we could have like 3 things for outside work, right? I would like to have the W3 schools, the JavaScript info, and the 10 days of JavaScript for outside work.
I might probably skip the JavaScript info part because I'm not too familiar with that one.
You know, me neither. But the thing is, like, when I went to React.js, or look, I'll show you. You can see my screen, right? I was looking at doggies.
Yes, okay, I see it. React.js, okay.
They told, like, in the, I think it's the documentation right here. It said,
I basically referred to JavaScript JS as its official documentation.
Well, not just that. It actually gave us MDN, and it gave JavaScript info.
Oh, okay. So,
like right down here, you see it?
Oh, okay. So basically, we're building, you know, discipline on how to read that.
Right. And
okay.
You know, I haven't even really looked through this.
I have like once, but I was like, this is too wordy.
All right.
Just give me the gist, man.
For real.
Yeah, but
look, what's this hello world thing right here? This looks nice.
You know, just regular.
Oh, it is too wordy. Look at that. There's like no examples. You can just. Oh, I guess it is. Is this code?
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, neat.
Yeah, I mean.
I don't know, but you know, it's all optional, right? It's all optional.
Absolutely, but I definitely really like the W3. I'm sorry.
Too.
Yeah, so I'm gonna definitely do that on my own time, just because I learned so much.
I feel like I
feel so empowered.
Seriously though, and it's like it's just one of those things where it's like so well laid out, right?
Exactly, and like I said, you know, prior to this, I was only using it for CSS and HTML. I didn't even think of JavaScript, but
I might just use it for all this stuff. I might use it for SQL, PHP. I already know Bootstrap, but I might use it for Python too, because that's basically all I really want to know. After JavaScript, the only really thing I want to know is SQL, PHP, and Python. And you know, the SQL and PHP, that's gonna be for let me stop recording.
The back end, basically.
Yeah, that's for the back end.
Yeah.
Let me open up Discord and hit up Elliot. Be like, bro, we're ready.
Oh man, but that was fun. I kind of wish that, you know, what's her name? Ramona?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just toned it down a bit. Shoot.
No, but let me stop recording right quick. Let me stop. I hear you though. Like, it's, I hear you,
Yeah.
Let me turn this off. I'm about to
Oh, my
stop
bad. I
streaming.
shouldn't have said that.
Nah, what do you mean? Dude, it's all